Taoism originated in China when Lao Tzu, an elder of Confucius, began writing this philosophy down into scripture around 550 BCE. Later, spiritual thinkers continued putting their ideas onto paper, and these writings were then collected as a composite teaching of Taoism during the 4th or 3rd century BCE. Now, the Taoist belief has spread to several Southeastern Asian nations, but is primarily concentrated in China and Taiwan.
Taoism currently has over 20 million followers, but at one time it was a much more prominent religion. Unfortunately, the prevalence of Taoism diminished greatly with the Communist Revolution.
Taoism is a harmonious relationship between nature, humanity, and the divine. It emphasizes the appropriate behavior and the way of leading and governing others. Taoists believe in the Tao, or the Way. It is the ultimate creative principle of the universe, the way to make cosmic harmony possible. They believe we are all manifestations of the Tao. It is important to clarify that the Tao is not worshipped because it is not considered a god.
First principle. Meaning oneness, the first principle states that everything in nature is part of the same whole and teaches a complete harmony with nature, in which we are one with nature. To Taoists, humans are nature. We are intrinsically linked to nature and created by it through a constant cosmic force.
Yin-yang. In accordance with the first principle, the yin-yang suggests that to achieve this harmony with nature, opposites are fundamental. It explains that we need constant balance in our lives. In terms of Taoism, the circle represents the Tao, the undifferentiated unity out of which all existence arises. The black and white halves within the circle represent the yin and the yang, the primordial feminine and masculine energies whose interplay gives birth to the manifest world. The curves and circles moves in a way to emphasize that yin and yang are mutually arising, independent, and continuously transforming, one into the other. One could not exist without the other, for each contains the essence of the other. Night becomes day and day becomes night. Birth becomes death and death becomes birth.
When people see things as beautiful, ugliness is created. When people see things as good, evil is created. Being and non-being produce each other. Difficult and easy complement each other. Long and short define each other. High and low oppose each other. Fore and aft follow each other.
Wu Wei. This brings us to our last Taoist tenet, the Wu Wei concept, also known as the Tao Te Ching. Wu Wei is often considered the most important of all Taoist beliefs. Often translated into non-action, Wu Wei is the idea that one should never overreact or overplan in any situation. It's the idea that all actions should come naturally, that we should be spontaneous and loose, just taking life as it comes to us, doing only what is necessary in the moment.
Master! I have... It's very bad news.
Shifu, there is just news. There is no good or bad.
Master, your vision was right. Tai Lung has broken out of prison. He's on his way.
That is bad news. If you do not believe that the Dragon Warrior can stop him.
The panda? Master, that panda is not the Dragon Warrior. He wasn't even meant to be here. It was an accident.
There are no accidents.
Yes, I know. You've said that already. Twice.
Well, that was no accident either.
Thrice.
My old friend, the panda will never fulfill his destiny, nor you yours, until you let go of the illusion of control.
Illusion?
Yes. Look at this tree, Shifu. I cannot make it blossom when it suits me, nor make it bear fruit before its time.
But there are things we can control. I can control when the fruit will fall. And I can control where to plant the seed. That is no illusion, Master.
Ah, yes. But no matter what you do, that seed will grow to be a peach tree. You may wish for an apple or an orange, but you will get a peach.
But a peach cannot defeat Tai Lung.
Maybe it can, if you are willing to guide it, to nurture it, to believe in it.
Upset? I'm not upset. What makes you think I'm upset?
So why are you upset?
I probably sucked more today than anyone in the history of Kung Fu, in the history of China, in the history of sucking.
Probably.
And the 5. Man, you should have seen them. They totally hate me.
Totally.
How's Shifu ever going to turn me into the Dragon Warrior? I mean, I'm not like the 5. I've got no claws, no wings, no venom. Even Mantis has those thingies. Maybe I should just quit and go back to making noodles.
Quit, don't quit. Noodles, don't noodles. You are too concerned with what was and what will be. Come here. The secret ingredient is nothing.
Huh?
You heard me. Nothing. There is no secret ingredient.
Wait. It's just plain old noodle soup? You don't add some kind of special sauce or something?
Don't have to. To make something special, you just have to believe it's special.
There is no secret ingredient.
Buddhism began in northeastern India when Prince Siddhartha Gautama moved from his town in Nepal to northern India in the late 6th century BCE. The Buddhist philosophy quickly spread throughout India as it readily taught outsiders the truth, and now it has spread to several Asian countries, including Thailand, Myanmar, Laos, Japan, but primarily concentrated in China.
Buddhism now has 360 million followers and is growing most rapidly in southern China. Its unique spiritual, physical, and metaphysical beliefs, which are well grounded in logic, have been readily accepted by many southern Asians.
We visited a temple and monastery and homestead to learn more about Buddhism and the Eightfold Path.
Buddhism is a spiritual tradition that focuses on one's personal, spiritual development and the attainment of the ultimate truth. Buddhism began when Prince Siddhartha Gautama abandoned his materialistic lifestyle to attain enlightenment through concentration and discovered the middle path. Now, following the path of Buddha, Buddhists attempt to teach others to reach a state of nirvana. There is no belief in a personal God, and belief that nothing is fixed or permanent. The path to enlightenment is through the practice and development of morality, meditation, and wisdom.
The Four Noble Truths.
The observation of suffering, of pain, the observing who is building the pain, and then who, if there is somebody pain is rising, there must be a way to undo the pain. The path of non-suffering. Then when you start becoming skillful to observe suffering and the way we build it and the way to undo it, in the path you can divide it in the Eightfold Path. The Four Noble Truths will become the Eightfold Path.
The Eightfold Path.
First is the right view. Right view supports wisdom. Wisdom in this sense is the understanding of things as they are. This understanding is not mere intellectual understanding. It is instead a thorough penetration of the Four Noble Truths. A Vietnamese Zen teacher once wrote, "Our happiness and the happiness of those around us depend on our degree of right truth, touching reality deeply, knowing what is going on inside and outside of ourselves, is the way to liberate ourselves from the suffering that is caused by wrong perceptions. Right view is not an ideology, a system, or even a path. It is the insight we have into the reality of life, a living insight that fills us with understanding, peace, and love."
Right intentions. Thoughts are the forerunner of our actions. There are 3 types of right intentions. First is the right intention of renunciation, which counters the intention of desire. The second is the intention of goodwill, which counters the intention of ill will. The third intention is the intention of harmlessness, which counters the intention of harmfulness.
Abstain from false speech. Do not tell lies or deceive. Do not slander others or speak in a way that causes disharmony. Abstain from rude, impolite, or abusive language. And do not indulge in idle talk or gossip.
Right action. The precepts to right action are not a list of commandments. Instead, they describe how an enlightened being naturally lives and responds to life's challenges. As we work with the precepts, we learn to live harmoniously and compassionately. The 5 precepts are not killing, not stealing, not misusing sex, not lying, and not abusing intoxicants.
Right livelihood. Right livelihood is first a way to earn a living without compromising the precepts. It is a way of making a living that does no harm to others. As Buddha once said, a lay follower should not engage in 5 types of business, which are weapons, human beings, meat, intoxicants, and poisons.
Right effort. To exert oneself to develop wholesome qualities and release unwholesome qualities. Number 1. The effort to prevent unwholesome qualities, especially greed, anger, and ignorance, from arising. Number 2. The effort to extinguish unwholesome qualities that have already arisen. Number 3. The effort to cultivate skillful or wholesome qualities, especially generosity, love, kindness, and wisdom, the opposite of greed, anger, and ignorance, that have not yet arisen. And number 4, the effort to strengthen the wholesome qualities that have already arisen.
Nice.
Right mindfulness. To be mindful is to be fully present, not lost in daydreams, anticipations, indulgences, or worry. Mindfulness also means observing and releasing habits of mind that maintain the illusion of a separate self. This includes dropping the mental habit of judging everything according to whether we like it or not. Being fully mindful means being fully attentive to everything as it is, not filtering everything through our subjective opinions.
Right concentration. Right concentration is focusing all of one's faculties onto one physical or mental object and practicing the 4 absorptions, also called the 4 dhayanas, Sanskrit, or 4 jhanas, Bali. Right concentration is most associated with meditation.
We asked some Buddhist monks about how to live, and they said to not worry about what life we came from or what our next life will be. They said to focus on the present, because that is what is important. The secret of health for both mind and body is not to mourn for the past or to worry about the future, but to live in the present moment wisely and earnestly. Buddha.
In Sanskrit and Pali, the word for meditation is bhavana, which means mental culture. Buddhist bhavana is not a relaxation practice, nor is it about having visions or out-of-body experiences, as explained by a scholar, Wapola Rahula. The Buddhist bhavana, properly speaking, is mental culture in the full sense of the term. It aims at cleansing the minds of impurities and disturbances such as lustful desires, hatred, ill will, indolence, worries, and restlessness, skeptical doubts, and cultivating such qualities as concentration, awareness, intelligence, will, energy, the analytical faculty, confidence, joy, tranquility, leading finally to the attainment of the highest wisdom, which sees the nature of things as they are and realizes the ultimate truth, nirvana.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful